Hello， 大家好 ，Error 喺度 for M 咧，咁咧就要介紹啲 Apple 嘅 update 啦。首先喺電視方面咧，佢有一個特別 update 就係 tvOS 嘅16.3。咁啊，另一邊廂咧就我部 iPad 咧同 iPhone 一樣啊，就有個 update 嘅，就叫做 iPadOS 16.3啦。佢今次一個 security update 啦，有啲其他項目啦。另外咧 Mac 機方面咧就係個 macOS Virtual 13.2要出嚟啦。我而家 update 咗啲 software 先。但 tvOS 暫時未有 update 啊，暫時。係啊，佢係16K，暫時未有 update 咧。電視暫時未有 update 咧，咁唔理佢住。我哋轉翻去頭先個 show 條片先。
Aaron here for Zollotech, and iOS 16.3 released today to all iOS 16 supported devices. iOS 16.3 is out and available for iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and newer all the way up to the 14 Pro.
係啊，由 iPhone 8開始去到 iPhone 14 Pro Max 最勁嘅話。
Depending on which version you're actually on. Along with this, Apple also released a bunch of other updates. iPadOS 16.3, macOS 13.
係啦。iPadOS 16.3、macOS 13.2、watchOS 9.3、tvOS 16.3、HomePodOS 16.3、iOS 15.7.3同埋 iPadOS 15.7.3俾一啲舊機嘅。就係咁樣，好多啊都咁。就不如直接 3 screen 度你轉去開 update 啊！我而家咧就轉去睇嗰個 setting 先。update。嗱，唔搞住，因為佢可能要啲時間。restart 個 system。Apple 先同佢 update 咗先。嚟。等佢 update 先，兩部都要嘅。Mac 機咧就係13.2啦，iPadOS 咧就係 OK 得啦，熄翻咗 update 先。呢度咧暫時暫時都冇乜 update 喺 HomePod 嗰度，咁暫時都冇我 update 啦。我而家轉翻去嗰度先。 佢要錄啲時間，咁咪趁佢撈緊嘅時候咧，俾佢放下 solo 條片先。
iPadOS 15.7.3. Now the build number of iOS 16.3, if you go to Settings, go to General, then About, you can see is 20D47, which means if you're a developer or beta tester, you already have the final version. And once you remove the beta profile, you'll just stop receiving future updates that are on the beta. If you would like to continue to receive beta updates, leave the profile in place. Now, as far as new features, well, there's quite a few in this update. And the first thing has to do with FIDO security keys. iOS 16.3, if we go into our settings and then tap on our name at the top, then go into security and passwords, and under passwords and security, we now have a new button.
Password and security
keys.
加呢個 security keys 嘅，就係呢個 two factor 嗰個 authentication 啦。security keys。
You'll get this prompt where it says security keys. A FIDO certified security key is third-party hardware that you can use for authentication when you sign in. And this is a Google Titan FIDO security key, but you can use any FIDO security key compatible key. Tap on Add security keys.
security key
says you'll need two keys.
要有兩個 key 最緊要嘅。如果你有 security key 嘅話
make sure that you have two of them. Tap Continue. Sometimes you have to tap Continue twice for whatever reason. Then you'll have to put in your passcode, so we'll give it just a moment here. We'll put in our iPhone passcode. Now it says Add security keys. Insert and activate your first security key. If you have a compatible NFC key, bring it to the top of the phone. So if you have a Lightning key, this is USB-C, but if you have Lightning, place it in the phone. If not, bring it to the top. And this is an NFC-enabled key as well. We'll name this key, and then you can add another. Then the next time you go to sign into your Apple ID, you'll either insert the key or tap it to the top of the phone, and it will verify that it's you that's physically there. With iOS 16.2, Apple added advanced data protection for encryption.
security key 喺度新功能入邊。
That's now available globally with iOS 16.3. To access that, go to your settings, tap on your ID at the top, then tap iCloud. Under iCloud, if you scroll down, you'll see
iCloud
data protection. I have
data
enabled,
protection.
and if we go into that, you'll see here it says iCloud encrypts your data to keep it secure. So it's encrypting things such as device backup and messages backup, iCloud Drive, notes, photos, and everything you'll see here. And then it talks about account recovery, and it helps you set all of that up. So if you want the highest security, enable two-factor authentication, enable advanced data protection, and then it will really secure your device with end-to-end encryption on all of the services mentioned here. And again, it's now available worldwide. With iOS 16.3, if we go into our wallpaper or our lock screen, go to Add a Wallpaper, you'll see a new Unity wallpaper. It says designed by Black creatives and allies at Apple to honor Black history and culture. If we tap on this, we have different color options, so we can scroll.
可以轉顏色添㗎，因為 iPhone 嗰度。
Green, blue, purple, pink, cream, and gray. And then also, if we tap on the clock, we have a new font option. So it's
你可以加埋時間，個鐘都可以改埋校埋添嘅，勁嘅。
We can just set it however we want. And once this wallpaper is set, so we'll hit Add. We'll just set it like this. If we go to this wallpaper and then we lock the screen and we have wallpaper on, this is actually sort of an outline of what you see here. So I'll enable the wallpaper on the lock screen. You'll see here, if I lock it now, it's an outline of that wallpaper. And again, this was based on an announcement Apple had in celebration of Black History Month. So you can read all about it under the Apple newsroom, but if you want that new wallpaper, it's here. In this update, Apple adds support for the new HomePod 2nd generation. This was announced last week. It comes out in February. But if you have a HomePod Mini, they've added a bunch of features as well with HomePod. The first thing is it adds Find My support, so you can find your HomePod within the Find My app. You can also create home automations with your voice, and it has some remastered ambient sounds I'll show you in a moment. But if you have a HomePod Mini, HomePodOS 16.3 enables temperature and humidity sensors in the HomePod. The sensor was there all along, and if we go into the Home app, you'll see climate at the top. That checks for temperature and humidity based off the HomePod. So that's something that we didn't have before that we have now. And it
HomePod
if we go into a HomePod and scroll down, HomePod within the Find My app.
身上之外咧就。
And again, this was based on an announcement Apple had in celebration of Black History Month.
做 Black History Month 啦，而家轉咗新 wallpaper 啦。另外就係個 HomePod 啦。
for the new HomePod second generation.
亦都 support 新嘅 HomePod 啦。嚟緊咧2月咧就等賣㗎啦，喺香港 HomePod Mini Mini 啦，佢有個聲 Home App
The first thing is it adds Find My support.
Find My support
Your HomePod within the Find My app. You can also create home automations with your voice.
Home automation with your voice.
Remastered ambient sounds. I'll
有
show you in a moment.
啲 ambient sounds 嘅。
HomePod Mini, HomePod OS 16.3 enables temperature and humidity sensors in the HomePod. The sensor was there all along, and if we go into the Home app, you'll see climate at the top, and we now have sensors for temperature and humidity based off the HomePod. So that's something that we didn't have before that we have now. And additionally, if we go into a HomePod and scroll down, maybe we want to create a new alarm. Under New Alarm, tap on Play Media, then choose Media. Then we have ambient sounds. And you'll see some different selections here of fireplace, forest, night, ocean, rain, stream, and
話可以加啲 ambient sounds 嘅喺
mastered and
HomePod
available
度
for
加
your
嘅。
HomePod to play as an alarm, or you could have them on your phone as well with the alarm, but you can see that's available now. Additionally, we can set up some new automations within the Home app based off the sensors in the HomePod. If we go into automation, and then let's add an automation here, then we can have it trigger based on a sensor detects something. Under that, we now have temperature sensor or humidity sensor. So we could select temperature or humidity and then have something activate or deactivate based on the ambient temperature. Whether that's a thermostat or maybe if it drops below a certain temperature, it can alert you, and that's something you can set up now within the Home app. Emergency SOS gets an update as well. If you go to our
Emergency SOS
SOS, you'll see it says call with release. So that's been alerted, nothing big there. We also have a new option for call quietly. If you start an emergency call using the gesture above, warning alarms and flashes will be silenced. So that's a new feature or option if you want to use emergency SOS. And additionally, Apple has made it so you have to trigger emergency SOS using two buttons now. You can use either of the volume up or the volume down buttons, and then press and hold the power sleep wake button. So if you press volume up and power sleep wake, it will bring you to this display, making it harder to trigger accidentally. And this is probably in response to people actually having this trigger while they're on roller coasters or going down ski slopes. So hopefully this eliminates some of those issues people were having with emergency SOS. Additionally, with
emergency 緊急 SOS。
However, that's something we haven't seen yet. So Apple purchased Phonic, which was a classical music service. They've added it to the code as a separate app, but we haven't seen it yet. So maybe they'll just turn that on with a push update, or we can see it later on. Now, Apple's actually fixed a bunch of things, so there's some bug fixes, and the first one has to do with Freeform. So if you're using Apple's new
Freeform
maybe you're drawing, so you have a little pencil here and you're drawing something on the screen, sometimes it wouldn't actually appear on shared boards. That's true of the iPad as well. So there's not any specific iPad updates with this update, but if you're using Freeform on the iPad, the same thing is true if you're using shared boards. Sometimes it just wouldn't show up. Now it should show up properly. So that's something
iPad
they
doesn't
fixed
fix
with
it.
this update.
In
Another
Freeform?
issue they fixed has to do with the wallpaper sometimes appearing black on the lock screen. Sometimes you would lock your phone, set it down, and the wallpaper would disappear, even if you had the wallpaper enabled. And this carries across to all phones, not just the ones with the always on display. So if you turned on your phone, sometimes it just wouldn't show the wallpaper and it would be black. That should be fixed in this update. Also, they fixed the lock screen issue with the iPhone 14 Pro Max, where sometimes you would turn on the display and you would have horizontal lines on the display. Apple has mentioned in the past that this is actually a software issue, and they've fixed it with iOS 16.3, so that should no longer be an issue. They've also fixed an issue where the widgets on the lock screen, if you're using the home widgets, so if we go to customize and maybe customize this one, remove it, and if we were using one for home, sometimes it wouldn't display the correct information. That's been resolved in this update. So you'll see here, it's displaying the correct information for humidity and the lights, and it's still there properly when you turn it back on. That's been fixed where sometimes it was incorrect. They've also fixed some issues with Siri. This has been a long time issue, and it's fixed issues where Siri would not respond properly to music requests. Maybe you ask it to play a song, and it would give you the wrong results, not understand you. That should be resolved in this update.
解決咗呢個 result 係連播歌啦。
CarPlay, where they may not be
CarPlay
understood correctly. That's been fixed in 16.3. Also, many people have told me that the AirPods bug has been resolved. where it would
AirPod
show
bug啦。
no battery status whatsoever for the case on the lock screen or in your widgets. It looks like that's repaired now. You can see it here. And in some cases, it was only for the AirPods Pro 2, but it looks like it's working. Most people report that the issue has been resolved. Before, it would just show 0% and that there was no charge for the AirPods case. It looks like it's fixed, but if you're still having that issue, let me know in the comments below. Now, within this update are security updates as well. Unfortunately, Apple takes a while to update this website. So if you go to Apple's security update website, once they fill this in, you'll see all of the latest updates with iOS 16.3 and iPadOS 16.3 Watch and Mac, and all of the latest updates here and what they fixed. I'll link that in the description, but you'll see everything that they've resolved, and usually there's quite a few of them. So that leads me to, should you install iOS 16.3 for security updates alone? Absolutely. If you have an iPhone 14 Pro Max and you're having those lines show up on your screen when you unlock the phone, definitely install it. As far as remaining bugs, well, there definitely seems to be a couple. After a few days, more specifically on the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, sometimes it starts to lag a little bit. More so when you're actually using the dynamic island. So maybe we're playing a song, we swipe to go home, you'll see there was a little bit of stutter there. That usually shows up after a few days. Some people experience this, some don't, but for whatever reason it shows up, a restart fixes that issue. Additionally, some people are experiencing stutter when sort of swiping on phones. Most of this has gone away, but once in a while it shows up. Also, there's still the camera bug that many have mentioned. So where you take a photo and it doesn't look like what it looks like on your display. Instead, it sort of darkens it. In my tests so far, it doesn't seem to be fixed. Apple hasn't mentioned that they've resolved it. So hopefully they do resolve it in a future update, but it may take some more time to figure out exactly what's going on and then have the process of corrected. But it's definitely an issue that's been there for a while. As far as overall battery life, let's go to my battery, and you'll see battery health is at 99%, so that's pretty good after a few months, no problems there. And if we go to the last 10 days, battery's actually improved for me generally compared to iOS 16.2. Many of you say the same thing, but we don't really know until we've been using it for at least a few weeks that it's actually much better. But so far it's been better for me. So you'll see here on Friday, a few days back, I had 3 hours and 51 minutes of screen active time and 3 hours and 33 minutes of screen idle time. It seemed to be about the same day after day, using about 50 to 60% of my battery, getting about 4 hours. That's much better than it was before with 16.2, where I would use my entire battery with almost 5 hours of screen active time. So I'm using about half the battery for the same amount of time. It's definitely improved for me. Everyone's experience will vary a little bit. As far as overall performance, other than that lag I mentioned, whether it's an older phone or newer phone, it seems to be nice and smooth. Whether you're going into a game or just swiping between different screens or just using different apps and switching between things such as music, it seems to be just fine. What we would expect before, I would expect now, with pretty good performance. I wouldn't say there's any slowdowns there. As far as the heat of the device, many people have asked me about that. It seems to stay nice and cool for me on 16.3. I've been quite impressed with that. I don't pay too much attention to that because Apple manages the temperature, but let me share with you the thermal camera. And you'll see the phone is quite cool in the thermal camera, about 76.7 degrees Fahrenheit, and if we move that over to Celsius, you'll see about 27 degrees Celsius is the hottest I hit there. So it's staying nice and cool in general. Now, as far as future updates, we could see iOS 16.4 Beta 1 as soon as tomorrow. That's what Apple did last year after the release of iOS 15.3. The next day, they actually released 15.4 Beta 1. So we could see that with maybe some new features, maybe Apple Music Classical, or something we're not expecting altogether. There should be quite a few different updates until probably iOS 17 that we expect in June. So based off of the overall releases, just a few months away, we'll see iOS 17 for the first time, and then of course move into the betas with that, and still have updates with iOS 16 as well. So we also have a bunch of product releases this week with MacBooks and then Mac Mini, and then later in February we have the HomePod version 2, or second generation, coming out as well. So lots of things this month. We expect a lot of different Macs in the future, as well as Apple's headset that they're supposedly working on, and much more. Let me know what you're looking most forward to with future updates, what features you'd like to see the most, and of course, if you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, I'll link it in the description like I normally do. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.
哦，就變咗播完啦。那再把嗰個電腦先。等陣啊，搞搞部電腦先，因為啱啱咧。
Exactly. So my question was, is it better to have the next gen chip, or is it better to have the most powerful version of the graphics? So check it out. This is the M1 Max. This exported the same video in 5 minutes and 25 seconds, which is quite a bit better than we used to. And that got me thinking, if you're planning on upgrading, if you already are in the M1 lineup, then chances are you're going to want to make a linear upgrade. What does that mean? If you've got the M1 Max, you're not going to want to go to anything.
得 OK。
upgrade 緊嘅。
up Mac 機得咗，iPad 等緊，唔好搞住。喂，撳錯掣，Mac 機播咗啦。
in different categories is like mind-boggling stuff. So if you are upgrading to like an Intel chip, it's just about how much money you want to spend and how much performance you're really looking for. And one thing that I also like is that
upgrade 都係電腦咁快？
係啊，快啊！
冇理由先攞
13.2啊，佢已經係13.2啊。
即係啦咁樣。
嗱都話啦
我睇唔到，你揾未眼啊
？13.2咯。
13.2咪13.2嘅新嘅。
嚇？
因為我隔離用 WiFi，你呢度用 net 啊，所以你實線大好多。
OK。
我用 WiFi 攞啊嘛，你用 net 咪嗰度攞快好多。
得 OK， 我 cut 咗嗰個畫面先，因為
如果我唔買呢個機咧，你冇啲紅線咧，爭好多倍啊！
爭好多倍係。應該你下次如果你早。我而家轉一轉場去 tvOS 啦，咁啊都 OK 嘅。等趁個 iPad update 嘅時候咧，喺度介紹下啦。咁啊部電腦 update 個 version， 佢而家咧佢 update 上咧，我想睇到佢個WhatsApp 啦喺度。個人點樣嗰度 sorry， 想出睇下嗰個 Smart 啦，咁啊。咩？我 search 咗3.2，佢有啲 update 嘅，同我 HomePod 嗰啲嘢。咁趁緊個 Apple iPad 我就 update 佢啦。咁啊喺呢度賣個關子啦，條片咧就到呢度。好多謝大家收睇 LMM 頻道。咁啊同大家啦，咁做咗今日咧有 Apple 有啲少少活動啦，有啲 shot 啦，咁好靚。咁等住先啦。咁啊〜 到呢度啦，好多謝大家收睇 Aaron 頻道啊！歡迎大家subscribe留意住最新片段。As always，我係大師睇，我係 Aaron，下次見。